Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And I've been talking about some ratcheting stubbies recently, and I just had my PB Swiss warrantied out simply because it wasn't perfect. And a lot of times there's sort of an expectation at a certain price point that things will be, essentially perfect. But this is a great little stubby, but it's, yeah, I agree, it's kind of expensive. In fact, it's up there and possibly beyond the little snap-on, and this has always been one of my favorites. It's got the interchangeable bits that use a square shaft, but it's not a uniform square shaft. I'll get into that. But I really like this. I like actually the direction, right is right, left is left, whereas most of the others are opposite. However, there's this Bahco set that looks like this. It comes in this nice case. This is a heavy ABS plastic with actually real hinges. And this is they call this the 18-piece set, and it's about 40 bucks, and I think it's well worth it. This is a really heavy, kind of stout, well-designed, kind of asymmetrical ratcheting stubby with a removable bit. Now, unfortunately, these bits, I can wedge this one into a snap-on. I kind of have to figure out the spot, and then it'll drop in, and I wish Snap-on made a even stubbier bit than their stubby bit. But if you're using any of the other systems, which include SATA or SATA and the gear wrench, you can use these just fine. So this is a great little stubby, reversible, very reminiscent, extremely reminiscent of this Stalvila that I've got here, but this doesn't have a removable shaft. But you can see kind of the design there on that ratcheting head is very, very similar. So anyway, it's an 18-piece set, comes with 6 sockets, a flexible driver, 1/4-inch square. Now these drivers here have a different shaft and they don't fit in to the snap-on, which is really odd. But they fit just fine into, here's a SATA. It works great there. And then the gear wrench, which is probably same factory, works fine there. So if you head down this road, you're more going into that realm of compatibility than you are the snap-on. However, as far as the functionality, this is pretty high quality. This is the kit here. We've got a 1/4 to 1/4 hex. So I've got a 1/4 square to 1/4 hex there, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be the easiest way. And these are just kind of a standard little 6-point socket. Not bad. And it comes with this set of bits. Now this bit set pops out. These are all S2 steel made in Taiwan. However, I was noticing this bit area. Get to that in a sec, but it looks like this might make a nice portable kit. If I look at this thing again, it's a real solid little design, plus it gives me full compatibility with all of my SATA and gear wrench extensions, which is really nice. That fits into your hand quite well. Of course, there are larger ones, but I don't know if you're really getting a whole lot more grip than some of the shorter stubbies as far as torque. It does work. Here's a snap-on. The snap-ons seem to work just fine inside this. And here's the dedicated bit. This is a snap-on here. Works fine. Another one. This one's a bit driver. Now, if you have a something like the PB Swiss, you're not out in the in the sticks. You can actually use things. This is a Bosch with a bit grabbing, kind of quick lock mechanism that drops right into the 1/4. I've got others. Here's a Diablo, even longer. So technically, as long as there's no risk for it falling off, and the PB Swiss has got a really strong magnet, you can basically leverage some of these things. Here's a Milwaukee. These aren't too expensive. Very long. This again is magnet based. Easily drops into the PB Swiss. But if you wanted to get into the actual bit system, which would allow you basically, 1/4-inch drive stuff, flex drive stuff, different bit lengths here, You know, and these are snap-ons here, so I can drop that in. You know, works great. So let's talk bits. This particular thing here, by the way, if there's the number, I can't remember if I showed it, 808050S. You can see that. People say I move too fast. There's the top. No bit storage. Others that have a very similar end, you know, you have to think these came out of the same factory, but that does pop out on the Stallvila, a little spring-loaded mechanism there. So if we take a look at this, there is an opening here, and of course you can get your knife and make it as any size you want. But when I looked at this, I thought, oh, you know what I could do is add my own bit set. And I buy these things in bulk. You can see there's a number, made in China, these Cool Tool 10-piece 12-hole drivers. I use these for all kinds of things. I'll put a link below if I can find them. I haven't looked them up on Amazon in a while. But I thought, well, I've got this bit set. It's pretty close. Well, what I did is I grabbed a couple of these and I just cut them off on my miter saw. Just line it up, get a little bit of indentation there to make sure I've got full coverage to hold the bits in. But I've got these two here that I'm going to substitute. One's a little longer, and I can wedge that in here, and then this one in here. And so now I can add quite a few more bits into this set, and it closes up just fine with this up, plus the extension that's flexible, plus the sockets, and this, and of course this has this small magnetic driver. So this is a pretty good set, especially considering that the snap-on and the PB Swiss are quite expensive. It's a heavy duty, feels great in the hand, and you've got a full complement. There are a couple of different sets. One of these, Bahco does make one of these that the bit shaft is fixed into the handle. I prefer the one that's removable because I'm deep into this set. I've got all kinds of options here, you know, and I'm deep into these SATAs and gear wrenches. I mean, it's just nice to be able to switch back and forth. But for this set and the price, I can recommend it. So if you're waiting for your PB Swiss to be, you know, warrantied out, you know, you don't have to wait too much longer. You can go ahead and get a Bahco to get you over, you know, through that dark spot when you don't have the PB Swiss. But overall, great little kit, and I recommend it. With that, Doc out.